evening, guys. It's about 1 a.m. my time right now, so if I'm a little quiet this evening, I apologize. But trying not to be too bad of a housemate. So we're gonna go ahead and watch this all from Flycam. I've went ahead and watched the entire game from each of your guys' POVs. So I've got a couple things I want to talk about. First things first, Krev, if you go and look at these ball chasing stats and check your speed, you were about 1750, which on an average is just way too fast. We'll look at where some of those issues came in. Sometimes it's more of like, sometimes the too high of a speed, as I don't really want you much above 1700, sometimes too high of a speed is more of an effect than a cause. And the cause is just that you're diving a little bit too quick, too fast, and not being truly effective in the play. So like situations like this, I'll just like pay attention to how often you're kind of jumping for the ball and not really doing anything. This one's not too bad if you force it well. Cloud, by the way, I freaking love. Like your style has really impressed me. Super controlled, super consistent, super stable. It's just like really clean, really clean. However, Krev and Oath, what we talked about on the call, I didn't see much of that. It could be something to do with just me not having comms or something along those lines, but like technically in this game, Oath spent more time as third than Cloud did according to the stats, and so that's kind of like, that's kind of what it felt like too. Definitely think that I can see a little bit about what you guys are getting at, but I think what you don't want to like force each other into too specific of a play style, because then it breaks down their you guys' fluidity and ability to adapt to new situations. So maybe rather, like, it's up to you guys 100%. I'm only seeing one game, but potentially rather than forcing Cloud into a deep third role, let him use that as a strength rather than as a game plan. Let him play his play style and just understand that that's where he's going to be strongest, where you're going to be able to trust him the most, but don't let that hold him back from playing other positions or playing other styles. Along with that, it just seemed like he just was really stable as third, which translated into all of his gameplay, to me at least, and that was about what probably, and then he just has good comms from what you guys have said, and that's why it feels like that. But don't feel like Krev, you're going super fast, so much so that you're not really doing much. And maybe that's because you're thinking that you have to be this aggressive first man because Cloud has to be this defensive third man. If you think like that, you're going to get baited into playing too specific of play style. Teams are going to be able to counter that. Definitely not a bad like overall style or game plan to have, but don't overdo it. So I haven't seen too much from the first bit of this play outside of nitpicking Krev. I like that you got the demo there, Krev. Something I did want to point out is I'd like to have you guys, so I'm going to try and keep this one kind of short, but I'd like to have you guys just watch this or even a different game and just watch the entire game all the way through from each of your POVs, no pausing. Don't even have to talk about it too much in depth, just kind of like experience each other's playstyles, and that's going to potentially help clear some things up, and you can get in each other's heads easier, and hopefully that can increase your guys' cohesion quite a bit quicker. Like, I love this pass idea, but at the end of the day, Krev's just not quite ready enough for it. But that definitely could be a really, really good opportunity. So like right there, Krev, big cut, a little too hard and quick. Maybe this was calmed out, and that's why you went. But yeah. Just again, that might be the cause, and then the effect is your speed is too high. So just making sure that we're actually accomplishing something when we're making our plays. Like, why would we want to rush this so much if, like, how likely is it that you going up here actually changed the outcome of what this guy did with the ball? Like, if he can't see you at all this entire time, why don't you just let him hit it to you? So I'm not going to say that you always need to play patient. I love that you play fast. You need to do that for this team from what I can see. However, I think that a decent idea for you is to like use this level of aggressiveness, this over aggressive, honestly not accomplishing much. Do that for a minute. They're going to know that you're like that, and then for the rest, use that just use that minute to get in their head, and then mix it up, and then try and change the outcome of the game by utilizing that knowledge. If you had just sat here in the midfield, he would have just passed it to you. He's not changing this touch. The touch is happening no matter what. And so that happens in a lot of situations when you're on offense trying to pressure the opponents. You can just kind of let them pass it to you more often than you think. Open space hasn't looked too bad so far. Nice crab. So, yes. Cloud, I think the one biggest nitpick I have for you is you're a little over reliant on these corner boosts. Situation like this, you use a lot of boost going forward when you don't really need to. Sure, fine. But at this point, you can still stay in this play. There's no pressure by the opponents. You're closer than Oath. There's not really any reason why you need to go back. Maybe you force him off of that corner boost, but what does that accomplish? It just made him get the middle boost instead, which he could have done either way. He didn't change anything he did. Just gave them extra open space, and now we're not layered properly, so that when Oath took this 50-50, it goes straight to Cosmic, and this is why I believe we get scored on. Yeah. And so it's kind of like decisions like that. A couple, like this goal in particular. Krev, you don't necessarily have to stay same side on this play. You have plenty of time, momentum to go rotate out the other direction. I'd be careful about trying to demo, going into the demo attempt starting with 0 boost. You do have a good bit of momentum here, but you're dead zero. If you don't get these pads, which they have obviously already taken, you're not going to have enough momentum to keep up, enough resources to keep up your momentum to actually get these demos. The only reason I point that out is if you had gone left and then cut in or something like that, you might have been able to help pressure with Cloud. But being truly behind the ball, like you could go towards this ball right now and potentially screw them up, but you're stuck with 0 boost because you're on the same side of the play as everyone else. So that's the downside. When you cross the pitch to a less populated area, you're more likely to get boost. In this case, it would need to be the pad route. But even if you are able to come in and hit this ball, you're literally going to do the exact same thing Cosmic does right now. You're just going to blast off your own backboard. So I like that you have you being that first demo man. I like that you have some tendency of front post rotations, but maybe we need the rule of like, if we're going to start rotating underneath the ball with 0 boost, that might be when it's too much. 24 boost, sure. 24 boost and a pad line that you can see is clearly open on the way to your demo, 100% go for it. But maybe that needs to be your cutoff, because there's just not a lot you can do here. And so yeah, we got too much open space, Cloud's too far away. Oath, you took a really soft 50-50, which is great if you got a teammate directly on you, but you don't here. Instead, I think you try to take a harder 50-50, to be fair. Krev, if you rotate opposite side and Oath can see that, maybe he's a little bit more liable to get a harder 50-50 across mid that you can cut off. Just a couple ideas for this play. Sure. We take those. 100%. 100%. That's just wild to me. Like, I 100% would have jumped, like, here. and I need to stop doing that. And I love just how planted you are and how consistent you are because of that. Tons of situations in which that helped you out later in the game. So like here, Krev. So I don't honestly mind that you go up, that you're considering going up, but just be a little, like, every time that you jump, your angle looks like you're trying to fly directly at them. Keep in mind, they have to come to you. The goal is this way. They're over here. So they, in some way, shape, or form, have to come to you. So if you want to pre-jump, don't be afraid to kind of go up rather than forward sometimes. It will depend on the situation, but I feel like that could actually do you some good. This has to come to you. You could have let him take you to the corner. Like, you knows you're here. And you kind of forced him, but he just didn't have the control he needed, so he's going to pass it Oath no matter what. You never had to jump in the first place, or you could have met him on the corner. You didn't, I want to make sure you're changing the outcome. Or, like, manipulating the outcome of the play when you're doing your aggressive plays. So keep in mind, like, what am I doing? What am I accomplishing when I go up for this? What's my goal? A force is 100% okay, but you need to make sure it's a force, as in you need to make sure you get close to the ball, maybe even bump the opponent and make sure you got a teammate near you. A couple of those things. It just takes an extra millisecond. And again, don't be afraid to let them come to you. That puts more pressure on them. They start to second guess things more. But mix it up. Sometimes full send, 100%. But not every time. And you're going to start to become too predictable. Spacing's good. Love that speed there, Krev. That's spectacular. Really good. See, I don't mind you're here at all. Don't mind you're here one bit, but either he's whiffing or he's clearing it. If he whiffs, you want to stay grounded so you can score the whiff off of the whiff. If he doesn't whiff, he's clearing it to the corner, and why would you jump? Because you want to go to the corner, and if you jump, you're just going to slow yourself down. So take an extra, like, keep these in mind. And for the most part, if you do that, you're going to see your speed drop below 1700. Aggressive third man by Krev. I'm up for it. He didn't have a very good angle. Cool. So I don't like this open space here. Okay. Oath got clapped. I think a little bit that's like, if Cloud's got the net covered, why are you continuing to drive directly towards net? At this point, you want to start going forward this way. That's okay. Thank you, Arrow. Start to head this direction, because you can transition this into a back post rotation that's not going to get you bumped or demoed in any way. And then if this play does work and you have this rotation, you're now already on offense in a better position because you're already being cross here. Like, look, if your rotation would have taken you like this, look where you needed to be for this ball. Front. So let Krev be this one to be this far option if he needs to be. You can start to rotate out like this. You can even take that pad line. Krev's going to dodge you. He's going to go cross pitch. And now he's going to end up here. But less importantly positioned in this case. Get a 50 by Krev. See, Cloud, great spot. As long as he doesn't get demoed. You can see how relevant he is because he's staying underneath like this. There's something to be said about him potentially being further behind this play, but I think he just demo dodged, which is good. So, like, again, Krev, I don't mind that you do some stuff like this, but it's just, you haven't done a lot this game. He's going to get that touch one way or another. As long as you are here now, he's going to get this touch, no matter what. Honestly, at this point, you can start to slow down and go for this middle boost already. If it's there. I don't technically know if it's there or not. It could be a replay thing. But, you know, now you're stuck 0 boost. Got 100, actually. Cool. This one I'm more okay with. Yeah, this one I'm okay with. Like, okay. I say okay, that's not what I mean. This one is what you should be doing. This is good. Force off to Oath. Ideally, he doesn't have the boost deal to handle it at the moment, but that's not your fault, that's his fault. Yeah, he just yoinked all of your small pads. It's really unfortunate. Very good job handling this Oath. Very well done. Cloud in a really good rotational position. I don't know how often you look for these, Cloud, but you definitely need to start looking for this pass. Don't be afraid to turn out this way. You have no opponents anywhere near you. But this is a touch we definitely want to get instead of the opponents. You turning tight here. Like, why do you need to turn tight? Why do we need to play this fast? We're on our own side of the pitch. You're still going to be ahead of S if you let this ball come up the sidewall. He's going to be out of position. The best thing he can do, being out of position like he is, he might be able to get a demo, but that's a might. Granted, if you turn tight and you make this play connect, he's not even going to be able to get a demo, but that's kind of like the only way you score when you turn this way is basically off of a 1-2 play where Krev shoots, and that's going to either score a goal or give up possession. There's no in between. If you take it up the sidewall, you can do all kinds of in between. Like this right here is like why I want you guys to watch each other's play style. So Cloud playing a little bit slow, playing steady, consistent, playing kind of this midfield role. You're playing for presence. Krev, however, is playing for speed. When he rotates through third, he wants to just keep going. So you guys understanding each other. Krev, if you see this in the future, as long like Cloud, you need to call out your boost amount. If you call out less than 30, that's going to be an indication for Krev that he can go. But if you call out more than 50, and Krev knows you have more than 50, then he's going to know that in a position like this, you are going to still want to go unless he calls you off super hella early. Love the recovery on the 50-50. Really well done, Cloud. Good dodges, Oath. Maybe a little far forward on this play. Nah, actually, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with that. Freaking beautiful. Fake that touch. This one. If he's challenging right now, like if he's here to challenge, then this is a 50-50 no matter what you do. No matter what you do. If you're in the way right now in this 50-50s, it could go into space where we can't counterattack. We can't do anything if it goes over here unless maybe you follow it up. That's going to give them all the time they need to recover. If you fake this and he takes a touch, it should go over this guy's head straight to Krev. Krev should be covering this if that happens. That's the kind of play you want to rely on here. And so if we know that those are the outcomes, either he hits it over us to a teammate, or he's not there, and now we let one bounce happen, now he's out of position, you have the angle to take a sweeping shot, and there's no way he saves it if you put a quality shot on. This, like, easy save. Easy save. So if your options are easy save if he doesn't challenge, or 50-50 if he does challenge, that's a lose-lose. If you fake there, you're in a win-win situation. He either passes it to Krev while they're still off balance, hopefully. That one might not always work, but that's the idea at least. Or he's not there, and you just give yourself a better shooting angle, or he does challenge and you actually fake him and now it's just a completely open net. Those sound like good options to me. Love the pass back though. And so try and generalize that situation. See if there are situations in which you can receive infield passes and start faking them. Yeah, like again with the speed, think about what you're accomplishing, Krev. I don't want you to be. Yes, this one you've got enough time to think about it in the moment. What are you accomplishing? But like, you got no passing option. You don't have the shooting angle. You both call a bump. He shouldn't have. He should call a bump here. So rather than getting this touch, stay grounded a little bit longer. If he jumps up to hit it, snake his boost and then come back around and grab the ball. If he decides not to jump up and hit it, try and hit the ball up the sidewall and follow yourself. But to do either of those, you need to stay grounded longer. So before you jump, think about what your goal is to do right now. If you want to shoot, you still should be driving further left and then cutting back right. So really think about what you're accomplishing here, because in a case like this, both of your teammates, you came from third man and both of your teammates are still on the screen. At least one of them probably has a low boost, the other one's literally in the net. You have to stall for time. You have to stall for time. This is not a stall for time touch. Straight to the opponent. Happens. Don't care. Nice speed. Calm, cool, and collected. Like, look at how Cloud slows down. He gets up here quick, good aggression, and slows down so he can see what's actually happening for this play, and then jumps when it's a little bit more predictable. Always had a good moment. Keeps the ball in play. Both able to get a decent touch over. This one is like a mix-up. I don't mind. Would love to see you get that demo. You can see how much chaos it throws into them. So like, I don't mind it. This one in particular, but notice this trend, Krev. Notice how you're just not doing a lot in this game. See how you can change that. If you find yourself doing, like, this is something you should be able to identify for yourself in the middle of a game. If you keep going up onto offense and changing nothing, you need to be able to identify that mid-series and make changes. Yeah, that's about it. Really good challenge, Krev. I love this. This is freaking great. Really good sequence, Krev. Well done. Look at Cloud. He never jumps. Go bang. Freaking beautiful pass. Beautiful pass. Little shaky on the aerial there with. I feel like you jumped too early. Yeah, like honestly. Like Cloud would have waited an extra second and then just scored. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. The top corner was open. If you're gonna jump early like this, try to figure out something else. Like, I don't really love you going above the ball, back underneath the ball, and then try and hit the ball high again. If you're gonna end up above the ball, own it and see what you can do with that. Drop back down, pass back to Cloud if you can call this early. Bounce it off the floor. Cosmic's going to have no freaking way to react to this. Sure, Avdeel is going to be able to get to it first, but that's a little bit better than this semi-predictable touch. Like, this is so standard at this point that if Deal can't read this, then you guys shouldn't be scrimming him. And and Cosmic, I think is the one that gets the touch anyway. So you had 2 people that could get to this. No, Deal gets it, but you see what I mean. Hopefully, Cloud, you freaking tank. I don't know where the frick you guys found this guy, but I kind of love him. Just mwah, chef's kiss. It's beautiful. How simple it is. I need to start watching Cloud's replays instead of professional replays when I'm about to go into ranked. I love this that passing option from Cloud. Good speed, Krev. I like it. It looks really good. Looks really, really good. Yeah, just. I mean, I shouldn't. Nah, that looks fine. That looks fine. If you see any issues with it looking at it back again, then feel free to feel that way. Not much for me to say. Love that kind of midfielder's position you got there, Cloud. Looks really good. That should have been a goal. Alright, so what do we do wrong here? One of y'all gotta. Okay, you do cross the pitch. Cross harder. Cross harder. Because you want, like, if you, because this is what you do. So you are, like, what we're worried about is this ball going towards net. You spend this entire, like, from here to here driving towards net. But now that it matters, now that Deal is about to get a touch, now you're driving away from net. From here to here, the time that doesn't matter, you're not driving towards the net. But once he comes up to the ball, now you're driving towards the net when it does matter. It's not a huge difference, but the biggest issue, I think, now is kind of the boost. How does he demo you? Okay, looking at it again, it's not going to change much, but you're going to be, because like you don't need to be this far back post for this ball. You want to be front post. Maybe you can have an easier time dodge. You should be able to dodge that demo if you take this route. That's not going to be consistent though. If he hunts you a little like harder, like even harder, he might get you anyway. You see how he rotates through net, whereas if you had gone this way, he's going to have to come out of net to meet you. So he would have to do that a little bit earlier, which is why I say you might be able to dodge this demo. Let's see if you can pass this to yourself, Cloud. Yeah, so it looks like you're a little worried about Cosmic, which is fair. You also seem to dodge S. Nah, you're trying to block him. I think you're trying to block him. Okay, that's why you jump. If you can pass this to yourself, that would be beneficial, but I think you kind of do try to. Like again, Trev, you didn't change his direction, his outcome, anything. He's kind of saw you and decided, I'm gonna go a little bit higher, and that's all you changed. Like minorly higher. You need to be able to force him off the ball, get the bump, get the ball, something along those lines. And if you, he's gonna come to you. If you take a little extra second, maybe even let Cloud go. Maybe that's why you jump so early. see how that's a decent block. Like that's kind of a hard angle. Maybe that one's okay. Maybe you guys are okay with that one, but again, I'm just kind of like noticing that trend for this game for the Ukrev. And so that's the balance we want. That's why playing so fast correctly is so difficult. So basically for me to you, you've got two options. Slow it down a little bit and listen to what I've been saying, or don't listen to me at all and go watch Ahmed from SRG. If you can implement that, go for it, 100%. That's one guy that actually can play 1750 and do it properly, but you don't see many other people play like him. There's a couple reasons for it. If you think you can implement it, be my guest, but I want you doing more, especially when you're jumping at the ball. However you can do that, going slower or just tweaking something else. That's what the result, what we need to see happen. Really get cut on that one. I'll have to get that boost. Really good support position in Cloud. I mean, overall, this game looked pretty good. Like, I think what you got 4-3 with one of the opponents getting a kickoff goal. Just some like awkward spacing resulted in another one, which might be theoretically should be a decently easy fix. So instead, this game could have been 3-1 ish. So yeah, I don't have anything too specific to say overall. As of yet, just kind of keep this stuff in mind. And don't get too hung up on forcing Cloud into third, is what my advice is going to be. If you guys want to keep trying it, are still feeling it, send it 100%. See how it goes. I'm more than happy to continue to help, but I think I need one of you guys to like record comms or something like that for me, so I can actually see it. But as with everything, like I'm coaching for suggestions, for tips, stuff along those lines. Potential tweaks. None of it is stuff you have to do. Yeah. So getting late. My brain's fried. So I'm gonna probably upload this tomorrow morning if I can. And I'll catch you guys around. Best of luck. Peace.